Oh my god. Welcome back to Shonen Chumps, the only anime podcast on the internet that features the three of us. As always, I'm Brennan.
I'm Sean.
I'm Dylan.
And if you didn't know what we do here, we watch anime and then we talk about it. This is our podcast. This week, we watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Phantom Blood. And we're going to be doing this podcast in 30 minutes. Starting now.
All right, what's up, guys?
Yo.
We're doing something weird. It just came to us. Pretty much, we watched JoJo. We watched it way too long ago. Actually, Brennan and Sean watched it way too long ago.
Yeah.
We don't remember too much, and we thought, hey, challenge.
Let's
see
what?
If we can do this in 30 minutes.
Let's
and
see.
we are capping ourselves at 30 minutes.
Let's see.
Not including our intro song.
Yeah,
This could be our shortest podcast of all time.
Yeah.
It probably will be, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really remember what happened because
Yeah.
we watched it a long time ago, but
because we're good podcasters, we're going to cover every base that we usually do. So if you want to reach out to us, and we'd love for you to reach out to us, you can email us at shonenchumps@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at shonenchumps, and you can listen to us on YouTube, on Apple iTunes Podcasts, the Google Play Store, SoundCloud, whatever the fuck you want. Also, we're on
Everywhere
Twitter
else.
and Facebook. Yeah,
And
yeah.
everywhere else you get your podcasts.
Oh, wait, I said Twitter twice, but whatever. Yeah, everywhere you get your podcasts.
yeah, a lot of those places. Let's see if we can stretch this fucking shit out, guys.
Yeah.
So, a lot of you have been asking us to do this for a long time, and I'm sorry this is how you're getting it, but this is how you're getting it.
Yeah, this is the most fun way we could possibly do it. It's fun, it's fast, it's fast-paced. I don't know, whatever. Guys, in one sentence, what did you think of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the Phantom Blood arc?
All right, I'm going to go first. No, I don't need to rush. What I'm going to say, my sentence is, I can't believe that this is a classic, period. And I'm sorry, I just probably pissed off a lot of people. That's not part of my sentence. That's just a statement. Brennan.
My sentence is going to be Muda, 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 Muda. That's it. That's all I got.
Is that Japanese?
It's Japanese.
What does it mean?
Useless.
Oh, okay. Whoa. Okay.
But it's also it's a DL line.
Wow,
it's what
yeah,
he says when he's being attacked. He goes
Right.
Muda, 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 Muda.
Have we explained to the audience that we have a timer going on right now that's
We
counting
do. It's
down
counting
from 30
down.
minutes?
It is counting down. We are currently at 27 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Makes this even funnier.
Yeah.
Okay. My sentence, I don't even know if I have a sentence, really. I was extremely disappointed with the series, and I hate the color scheme. Okay.
Read the manga.
Right,
Check out the color panels in the manga.
Now, here's something we haven't done in a while. And so usually Sean asks this, but I'm just going to ask this because I want to remind everyone. What did you know about this podcast? Or sorry, about this. What did you know what, fans? What did you know about this podcast before you listen to us? Is this your first time listening to us? Let us know in the comments. But what I actually wanted to say was, what did you know about this anime before we watched it?
If this is your first time listening to the podcast, please listen to any other episode besides
Literally
this after.
anything else.
Yeah. That's very funny. Dylan, what did I know about JoJo's before watching this? I knew that all the characters had something called stands.
Yes.
Or stances. It's a stand,
Stands,
right?
yeah.
But a stand is not a stance. Anyways.
It's like a bit beast.
Yeah, it's like a bit beast in Beyblade. Thank you for relating that to something
I
that I
don't
actually
even
know.
remember that word from this anime.
It's not in it.
Yeah, it's not in the Phantom Blood arc. It comes later. But anyways, I knew that people use that to fight. I'd seen like an episode from like maybe the third season because my friend Richard showed that to me. Shout out to Richard, who's been telling me to watch JoJo's forever because he absolutely loves it.
Yep.
I hate the show. I do truly believe that the show probably gets way better with each arc. It probably gets way better.
Right.
But I knew that each arc focused on a different Joe. Like
Yeah.
a different JoJo in the family of Joestars.
Yeah.
That's about all I knew. Like fighting, ridiculousness, weird color schemes, everybody looks like the same character and every Joe looks the same. That's what I knew.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Bren?
As for what I knew more or less the same shit. I knew there were these things called stands, apparently. I knew that the fan base was so crazy about JoJo.
Yeah.
The first time I saw the art style, I thought it was the ugliest thing on the planet. And then Very shortly afterwards, I thought it was beautiful, but not necessarily the stuff I'd been seeing from the actual anime, but rather panels from the manga, which get more and more beautiful as it develops because the artist gets better, because this thing's been running since the 80s.
Like, everybody looks like David Bowie.
Yeah, well, yes. I had no idea about what the actual plot was. I just knew there were muscles and there was punching and that it was weird. What else did I know? I also knew that the first arc was actually not supposed to be very good. And every JoJo fan says, just please bear with us. Just get through the first season. It's like 9 episodes.
Yeah.
The first arc is short. It's just for context. And then the fucking fireworks start to fly in season 2 and 3. But here we are, just watching season 1.
The first season includes the next
right,
arc.
you're right, yeah.
Which is why I thought we should watch all that. But then, honestly, I'm so sorry, JoJo fans. As we were going through these 9 episodes, I really wanted to die. I really liked it in the first couple, and then it just totally went off the rails.
It's maybe the longest 9 episodes I've ever had to watch, but it was still kind of sick.
So what Dylan? I knew, I didn't know anything. I'd heard the name before, and I think over the course of Shonen Chumps, our career, 2 years, we've talked about doing some classic animes, and Brennan has pitched JoJo a few times. He's just said like, oh, we should do it. It's a classic, and the first arc is 9 episodes. So that's very appealing to me because, full disclosure, I'm usually the one holding up our recording.
Send all your hate mail too.
Yeah, send all your hate mail to me. Although I will say our 4-month hiatus was all of us.
Yeah,
not just me.
We were
but usually for the most part, I hold things up. So that was very appealing to me. Also, just because I knew it was a classic, I just kind of probably subconsciously grouped it in with your Cowboy Bebops and FMA, because I thought like, oh, these are classics that I haven't seen. Those 2 animes made me love anime, and I watched this. And I mean, the fact that fans acknowledge that this is the worst arc and it gets really good, and I'm just finding this out right now from Brennan, that's good. Maybe I'll watch more someday, but this left a really bad taste in my... No, that's too negative, but I didn't like it. It didn't leave a bad taste in my mouth, but it was not good.
It's funny because I'm saying this during the experiment and we haven't even seen how this follows through. But if we ever watch another arc of JoJo again, we should podcast it in 30 minutes.
Right. Yeah. For Mob Psycho 100, we drink a beer, and for JoJo, we do it in half an hour.
That'd be great if we had a different bit for every season of a specific anime. Yeah.
Oh, damn. We got to figure out something for Attack on Titan.
And just for hot garbage like Ancient Magus Bride and other things that we collectively hate.
Or with any luck, whenever we podcast Code Geass, the trick of that episode will be we don't watch the anime.
For context, Sean hates Code Geass. Yeah. Brennan and I like it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Okay, so I want to be, like we've been shitting on the show, let's just get this out of the way. The closing theme of the song is one of the best ever.
Yeah.
Such a good track.
And it's the first time I've ever encountered a North American rock song as the legitimate ending theme of an anime.
Yeah, there were 2 reasons why I wanted each episode of the series to finish.
It's Roundabout by Yes.
Yeah, because I wanted to hear the song so badly, and I desperately wanted the episode to be over.
Oh, man. It's so good. Also, I had seen the To Be Continued memes a million times before, but I was always like, there's a meta meme to that meme where it's like a guy holding up the picture of the To Be Continued sign. He's like, I don't know what this means, and it's too late for me to ask what it does.
Do you want to explain what this meme means to the audience in case they don't know?
We'll link it in the show notes. Brennan's compilation. Brennan just showed us.
Yeah.
Anyway, Brennan, take it away.
Yeah, no, that's really just it. It's like,
they're like meme videos of something incredibly bad about to happen to somebody, but it'll freeze frame before the bad thing happens, and it starts playing the JoJo To Be Continued,
which is pretty much what happens in JoJo. We just talked about the closing theme, but the opening theme I thought kicks ass too. It kind of reminded me of like Cowboy Bebop style because it was like really cool.
It's like very flashy.
Yeah.
And, like
Shit, it's been
like
too long. I almost don't
bebop jazz.
remember any of it.
Yeah, and so that was one of the best parts of JoJo, the music
Right.
at the beginning and end.
the whole like in like the beginning sequence basically gives away the entire show.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least of the arc that we watched.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure everyone who's listening has watched JoJo, but if you haven't, we keep saying arc. Really, what we're saying is the first season is 25 episodes or something like that, but only the first 9 is kind of its own kind of like pseudo season within a season, and it's like an arc. It literally has its own title.
Yeah.
Called Phantom Blood, and
Yeah.
so
And you
that's
follow
what we
like
watched.
what Jonathan Joestar.
Yeah. Every one of the arcs of JoJo has its own name. Like
Yeah.
the second one's Battle Tendency, I think.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
And they're not told in chronological order. Like they're not
Oh.
going from like father to son to his son to his
Right.
son. I think
Right.
it goes back and forth
Okay.
throughout time.
That's sick.
I believe that's how it happens. Yeah.
But wait, while we're still vaguely not too far from the topic of music, so it like I read this afterwards. Like the mangaka, the guy, I can't remember his name for the life of me, but the dude who created JoJo is a huge fan of Western rock music,
Right.
And like that's pretty clear based on the ending song alone. But holy fuck, the amount of ham-fisted rock references,
Like
are
people's
so-
names and stuff are
it's
just like
so funny.
albums and shit.
I
right?
love it. There's literally a man named REO Speedwagon, Robert E.O. Speedwagon or some shit.
Wait,
yeah.
And, like,
the most on the nose one.
Yeah.
It's like
Wait, and
wow.
is that a band? I don't
REO
know. I'm
Speedwagon's
lost.
a band.
Yeah,
REO
okay,
Speedwagon
right,
is a
yeah,
band.
That rings a bell.
And like Baron Zeppeli is just Led Zeppelin.
yeah.
Dio is just
Dio
Ronnie
is just
James
like
Dio,
an artist or a band. Yeah. Oh, Dio's
Ronnie James Dio of Black Sabbath.
Yeah. It's a Black Sabbath's members like spin-off
He's
band
the
also.
man
Yeah.
who made the horns.
Did he?
Yeah,
That was
that's
AC/DC.
No,
Like,
it might be contested. I don't know.
all right, audience, let us know
I
in
don't
the
know.
comments.
Yeah.
We don't have time to get into this. And then the final one is Zeppeli's master is Ton Petty.
Petty.
Oh my god.
Wait, what is it?
Ton Petty.
Ton Petty?
Like,
Yeah,
With
it's
an
like
N.
one
Okay,
word,
yeah,
like
yeah,
Master
right.
Ton Petty.
Ton Petty.
I do respect that the writer chose like not like the most famous bands in the world. Like
Right.
he didn't go
It's just
for
the-
like the Beatles
You know,
or
it's
something.
everything that's
you know?
just chilling on his Zoom.
Yeah.
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 Well, it seems like the Beatles probably don't fit into the style of music that he wanted to like portray
Right.
in
Yeah,
this.
that's true. But I
Yeah.
just mean like they're not like the most famous
I've
band.
seen
Yeah.
references down the line, like just like fan art and like other shit from later seasons where there are just more.
Oh, okay. Good.
So there
Oh,
could
right,
be
yeah.
like straight up Beatles reference. There probably are. People are probably screaming at home right now.
meets like Chad Kroger. or
Yeah,
whatever.
there's straight up David Bowie. David Bowie is like maybe a stand, I think. It's the 1980s version, or
Okay.
the one that's off of Scary Monsters. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, yeah, I guess I forgot when I said that. I forgot that there are other seasons that. Oh, well, sorry, other seasons with different characters, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that David Bowie like Scary Monsters thing. I didn't know
Yeah.
if that was fan art or like legit from the
I
show.
think it's legit.
Or
I'm almost
something
certain it's
else.
legit.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain.
Yeah. Okay.
I could be wrong.
Or just like a promotional like poster or something they might have made. I have no idea. Who
Yeah,
knows?
we're kind of in the dark.
I mean, I say who knows, but literally everybody knows except for us.
yeah,
yeah. We're quite in the dark.
we're
here.
not the
Yeah.
authority here,
No.
and we're aware of that.
Yeah.
Part of the, I feel like 50% of the reason why I dislike the show is because the sky is other colors than blue. They just
Dude, I
make-
love
I
that.
fucking hate the color
I
scheme of
like
this
how
show.
ridiculous they got sometimes.
Oh,
It's like it just
God.
turns into Castlevania.
The
Sky
color-
turns purple.
the
It's
color
like okay.
scheme, the color scheme and the art style make me feel claustrophobic while watching the show, and so I actively dislike it as I'm watching it. And I'm sorry, like listeners at home, like this is something that's innate within me. I can't help this. It makes me dislike it. I feel like I can't get over this.
Okay, so that's
hard
your
stop,
your
yeah.
major qualm with it, Bren. Do you have a major qualm? I'm also going to say that we have 16 minutes left. Go on.
I don't really have that many qualms besides the fact that like the pacing of the show is brutal in the way that it takes a million years for nothing to happen. Like someone can be flying through the air for literally 10 minutes in the show and they can be having a like fucking like 4-page script of like dialogue between two characters as they're flying like a meter between one another.
Right.
It's like, holy shit. I get it. This is the shtick, but it's also like, can we please show more things happening? Also, it didn't look that great, but it's also like kind of quirky and fun.
Yo, this has got to be the ugliest anime I've ever seen. Oh my god. Shit.
I don't know what it's from, but I've seen some like 3D JoJo shit. I don't know if it's like canon. I don't know if it's like an OVA or movie.
Like fully 3D or just certain shots that might have been done
stills,
in 3D?
they might have just been from the intro because there's a couple of those weird 3D shots in the intro, and I was like, ooh, those are gross. But I'm actually not too mad at the 2D style.
Like, and part of the style is really funny because it's like, oh, this guy who was 12 and then becomes 17, and he's 17 but he looks like he's 30 years old.
Yeah, like it's definitely intentional. It's not like shitty drawing. It's just tongue-in-cheek. For me. Yeah, it's very
that's true. It's like, I feel like even if you were the best person in the world at making this art style, I would find it repulsive to look at.
Right.
Just because it's a gross, I think it's gross.
Okay, but I think, that's just part of it, right? JoJo has its own look.
Yeah.
So many like frames and like color stills or like whatever from like the manga, and it looks beautiful. I'm legitimately entranced by how good it looks. It's so well drawn. But I think that the anime's approximation of those drawings are not so great. But I feel like it probably gets better as time goes on. This isn't that old. It's from like what, 2012 or something?
Yeah, 2012-ish.
There is an OVA as well that's like separate, like animated by a different like it's a separate thing altogether, but it covers I think maybe the same arc as the first season. I've seen some stills from those. That's from the 90s and it looks pretty cool. Maybe I'll check it out. Yeah.
Dylan, what was your major gripe with the show if you had one?
Okay, well, I mean, it was pretty ugly, but the thing that bugged me the most was the way that the dialogue and just like some of the that's what I meant to say. There is so much exposition in the dialogue. It's so on the nose and it's way too much. Like it's like
so funny.
It's like juvenile the way they're treating the viewer. It feels like they're explaining to me every lesson and theme that I should be taking away. And also characters' motivations and literally why they're doing certain moves. Like, JoJo will be fighting Dio, and Ario Speedwagon's... Oh, by the way, his only function is to just comment on what's happening.
Yeah, he's literally a commentator. He is so good.
He's introduced, and he looks kind of badass. He has, like, this razor hat, and you're like, oh, shit, yo, this guy's gonna fuck shit up. And then, like, in that fight, I think he's like... Oh, this guy, like, after, I think JoJo's, like, holding back, he's like, oh, he's, like, holding back, he doesn't want to hurt us, like, things like that, but then that later, that all of that just keeps happening throughout, he's like, oh, like, JoJo's doing this right now, it's because of this, like, this move is triggering this, I guess he figured this, like,
the thing
I wish I had a specific example, but
so
it just...
campy, I love it.
It irritated the shit out of me, dude, because if it was, like, one movie... I would be like, okay, cool, like, I get it. But it's like every episode there's a fight, and with like Brendan said, there's like a 10-minute fall happening, and Ario Speedwagon is giving me the fucking play-by-play. Yeah. Like I didn't need that Ario Speedwagon. And just anytime JoJo does something good or heroic, Ario just like he just tells you. He's literally just telling you like, oh yeah, like oh look at that. And you know, we only have a finite amount of time. In fact, we have 11 minutes and 34 seconds left. So I'm going to shut up with that. But that was my major gripe with it. It just got irritating.
Okay, so we've been shitting on this pretty hard so far. And I think it's all warranted to a certain degree. But also, I think we should throw some... Or I should throw some positivity on this, because I did enjoy it to a certain degree. I think some of the character designs were kind of nice. I like the way Dio looks. He looks fucking cool. I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
he's pretty scary.
Something about just
like
his
that.
whole vampire mode got some real Castlevania vibes. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
let's go.
for
Let's get
sure.
it, Alucard. Let's do it. He also literally does eventually take residence in an actual castle that just looks like the castle from Castlevania.
Yeah, and he looks like Simon Belmont.
Yeah, and it's full of monsters and goobers and evil things just out to get this strapping young lad. All JoJo needed was a whip, but he didn't need a whip. He's got light in his blood.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Good God.
Yeah, it was campy and silly and dumb, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was kind of fun and neat.
JoJo gets his girlfriend kissed by his brother, Dio. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that fully happens.
That happens.
And then she drinks puddle water to rinse it out.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, yo, that's disrespect.
That is true disrespect.
Yeah, yo, Dio deserves it.
Yeah, Dio's a bitch.
Yo, okay, wait. So I just looked through my notes because I wanted to see it. So I just want to read a quick note that I said from episode 2. This show feels kind of juvenile. I can't put my finger on it. I guess it's not very subtle with the dialogue. It's a little on the nose. Like when the leader of the gang, so I'm talking about Ario, is attacking JoJo, says to stop, and then he talks about how he left him alive and the other 2 guys as well. And then he talks about him having honor. JoJo says how he doesn't want to kill them because his task is about helping his father, and he knows those guys probably have families as well depending on them. It's very like, here's the lesson for you, viewer. So
And-
that's
Right.
what I wanted to say.
But that's part of
earlier.
the camp. I kind of like it. It's
Dylan, did
stupid.
you watch this in English or Japanese?
I watched it in English.
Me too. English. Brennan, Japanese.
Japanese.
That makes sense.
100%.
This show reminded me a lot of Neo Yokio.
Interesting.
A lot. Maybe it's because of all the stupid fucking accents I was hearing everywhere. Sorry, I feel like that's a really mean.
Right.
So,
For
my
what it's
God.
worth, sometimes Dio just starts speaking English just out of nowhere.
okay.
really?
But it's like very funny.
Yeah.
And very
God, it almost definitely has to do with the British accents everywhere, but it's just so fucking pompous. Like, and I know
Right.
that's the point.
Actually-
like, that's what the point of the show is. But like, oh God, it's so gross.
Yeah, actually, that was another thing that got kind of annoying because it wasn't like, yo, this guy's following us. I'm freaked out. He's like, this man, he stalks my very move like a shadow. I'm like, oh,
Like, shut the fuck up.
dude, dial it back, please.
that,
Maybe
like-
they aren't in that in the future because they go to the Americas or whatever, and it's his son or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
come
think
on.
that's like the equivalent though of the Japanese delivery because it's still over the top in Japanese.
I hate it.
It's so silly.
One thing I did really like is I liked that it took place in like a version of our world because they literally say like in one episode, episode 2, they're like 1888, they mentioned that Jack the Ripper is like killing women and shit, but they're like, but that's not the scariest thing that was going on.
Right.
JoJo and Dio were fighting. So like I kind of liked that they had that, and then they literally had Jack the Ripper.
He was a
later
minion.
in the
He burst
episode.
out of a horse.
Yeah, so that was something.
Yeah, so Jack the Ripper is around in 1888 there, but then in Full Metal Alchemist, he's around in like 1921 or something. Like,
Right.
that's that time.
There's always
Like
a Jack
Barry
the Ripper.
Chopper?
yeah,
Or is there
which-
an actual Jack the Ripper too?
No, it's
Oh,
Barry
okay.
the Chopper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty silly. I mean, when it's like JoJo's fighting him with a glass of wine in his hand, trying to balance his hum on or whatever the fuck. It's like, it's
Right.
the silliest thing in the world. I just took the whole thing as a joke. I was just laughing the entire time.
Wait,
yeah.
so you generally enjoyed this? Wait.
Yeah,
what?
because it's like so bad it's good kind of thing. Like the camp, I know that they're doing this on purpose. It's not
Right.
genuinely bad. They're being weird for the sake of making
See, like,
a
generally,
weird,
I guess,
bizarre
like,
joke.
I don't know, I dislike things that are bad. That's a really funny quote. But like when it comes to Neo Yokio, like it just got me. I was like 51% leaning in the this is funny camp because like it was bad, right?
Right.
But like it was so bad that it could be good a little bit. I started to see it with this. I'm just like I can't see it. Maybe I could totally see future seasons being good or future arcs, but like what I saw, those 9 episodes, no. Just no. Full stop.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
You know?
I agree.
Yeah.
One other thing that I want to mention that I liked, and it's kind of hard to explain over like audio only, so if you are watching on YouTube, I'd recommend checking it out, but I'm going to show Brennan and Sean the picture. It just like, they did these really cool overlays at times, so there would be kind of like a shot where Dio is saying something, like, oh, I hope Father's okay, and then it would like hold on the same shot, but it would have this really cool overlay,
Right,
where
right.
it's like it all goes red and kind of this weird, like interesting, like
Okay.
monochromatic thing.
Like his outline
And-
of his body stays, but
yeah,
the colors of it
yeah,
are
and
replaced.
then
Yeah.
he says like his real intentions. He's like, I'm gonna poison that bastard or something like that.
Is that what he fucking
I don't
sounded
know. I don't
like?
think so. But like it was just like made for a really cool juxtaposition. That was one of the things that I really enjoyed. I think it happened more early on in the first arc when JoJo was like not really saying when Dio was kind of not revealed to be entirely evil to everyone around him.
Right.
So that
Cooks
was actually,
a dog. He cooks a dog.
Yeah, dude. I was hoping JoJo went John Wick on him because
Right.
that shit don't fly with me.
I mean, he did impale
Dio,
him.
you fiend! How could you?
Yeah,
Sorry.
in Japanese, that's literally just Dio, just screaming. Just it's so silly.
Okay, so how we're doing for time is 5 minutes and 10 seconds now. So
Shall we wrap up?
I don't know. Well, we can add our wrap up at outside of the time, or maybe we can't. What do you guys think? We didn't discuss that.
Well, we got 5 minutes.
We've
to
got
figure it
5
out.
We got
minutes
5
to-
minutes to shoot the shit. What do you guys want to
Yeah.
talk about?
I don't. Is there any? Yeah. What else can we say about JoJo?
Well, I liked Hairman and Big Buff Guy.
Whenever I see a character from Fist of the North Star, I think it's from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yes, 100%.
It's like
And
these
whenever-
giant bodies and small heads.
Yeah,
I
and
love
whenever
it.
I hear the title Fist of the North Star, I actually think that people are talking about Saint Seiya.
Right.
So I just get very confused with all these animes.
There's a lot of
anime.
muscles happening.
Yeah.
And a lot of powerful moves.
Yeah,
I like Zeppelin's hat.
really just comment on this podcast, the YouTube video, or like send us an email or tweet at us, like if you think we should watch the future arcs.
Oh, you are opening the floodgates.
And like,
buddy.
please don't say like watch the 6th arc. Just be like, you need to watch the 2nd arc. Pretty much, just only recommend the 2nd arc. Just let us know if we should keep going.
I actually watched the first
Yeah.
episode of the 2nd arc, and I was already more interested
Interesting.
because it was
Right.
happening in New York in like the early 1900s.
Right, but you're also the most interested right now, which is like, I don't know if this is a good sign for Dylan. Right?
Yeah.
I think it doubles down on the shtick, but it's a little bit less. It's more palatable.
Do they have British accents?
I don't know. It's in Japanese.
Oh, right, yeah, right.
Damn it, Brennan.
They still roll their R's.
Foiled again. What else to say about JoJo? I don't know.
I'd just like to apologize to anyone who came here for a good time and has had their day ruined by
Oh yeah,
us.
sorry. When Sean said, "Oh, let us know if we should keep going," also let us know what you think of this like ridiculous format we're trying out right now just
Yeah.
for this. Like our last
man.
podcast mob was like an hour and like 40 plus minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. So hey, this is a short little thing.
Yeah, these are two exact opposites of the style of show that we make.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry if you're a huge JoJo fan and we've just been ripping on this without knowing the full extent of how good or not good it may truly be.
I guess in the 2.5 minutes we have left, I might as well explain to the audience this idea that, like, where I've had an idea like this before for one of our podcasts. So, Brennan's favorite anime is Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Hell yeah.
Right? And I've had many thoughts on how we could do a podcast, because I don't want Brennan to just talk for 2 hours straight without
like,
Dylan and I
could.
interjecting, right? So, like, I've seen Neon Genesis before. I don't know why I said the two words that people don't refer to it as. They usually call
Ava?
it Evangelion. Yeah. Brendan's seen it a shitload of times. Dylan hasn't seen it before. And I was thinking of, like, if we ever record a podcast on it, I would be a good moderator and, like, moderate the time between Brendan and Dylan and, like, maybe keep tabs on how many minutes they're spending talking.
Right.
And ask them their opinion on certain topics. I feel like that'd be a good way to do it, because Brendan probably has too much to say and Dylan probably has too little. Be
Yeah.
a good way to, like, even out the flow of things.
It's going to be fucked.
You got, like, a fresh perspective thrown in
We'll
there.
probably
You
do
know
it when
what
it
would be
gets to Netflix.
You know what'd be funny is if we gave Brennan a minute count limit. So anytime he starts talking, it counts down his total time.
Yeah.
So
And
like,
whenever Dylan starts talking, he can talk for however long he wants.
no, so just like Brennan can like school the shit out of me, but he can't school me too much because then he might not get to school me later on.
We can
because
only...
like I can like comment on the end of Evangelion and say all this shit, and Brennan just has to like sit there because he already like.
I get what you mean. It's
on.
like a chess match. So like Brendan will have like 30 minutes total, and whenever he starts talking, we start counting down on that. So he has to willingly give up his like.
We need.
He needs to say, "I'm done now," so we can stop his.
I have to hit the clock when my move is made.
We need like an intern to keep track of Brennan's time during the recording.
If you'd like to be an intern, email us at. I'm joking about this part, but you can email us at shonenchumps@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at shonenchumps. Listen to us on Apple iTunes Podcast, the Google Play Store, anywhere you listen to podcasts, SoundCloud, etc. What do you guys have to say? 45 seconds left.
Okay, so we have 45. Okay, so I'm going to say that our ending music is not part of this time because we only have 38 seconds.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was like something. This was something to watch. We're recording this on May 3rd, May 4th. No,
Something
it's May.
like that.
No, it's May. May 3rd. Vampire Weekend's album came out today. I thought it was all right. That's all.
What the fuck? You're wasting our time.
Okay, while we're talking about music, there's a really good hardcore band called Fury that just put out an album called Failed Entertainment. Go check it out if you like music.
You guys ever watch Avengers Endgame or that most recent episode of Barry or
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones?
They're all pretty good. I wish I had more muscle. See you, Space Cowboy!
But we still have 4 seconds. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
All right, love you.
Everyone's not special.